Welcome to the Seven Figure Coaching Business Blueprint. What you will learn over the next several minutes will completely transform your business when you implement it. You see, I may not know you, but I know that as a coach, you probably want to fulfill your passion. You love what you do and you want to impact more people with it. You want to get rewarded for what you do because you do it so well. And you want to deeply enjoy your life in the process. In other words, you don't want to spend all the time working. You actually want to have enough time and money left to spend with the people that you love doing things that you absolutely enjoy. But there is a problem. See, most coaches never end up making the kind of money they want to. Instead, they end up stuck working way too hard, trapped trading time for money working with one-on-one clients, impacting too few people in the process, and in a business that, well, that's not so financially and otherwise rewarding. But no more. It all changes for you today because you are learning about one of the not so hidden secrets of the coaching industry, running group coaching programs. Now, here's why it changes for you, because I want to share with you my seven-figure coaching business blueprint. Now, my name is Adam Urbanski, and it's my picture right there on the left teaching one of my marketing training programs. And some people think I'm kind of a big fish in the coaching industry, but if you've never heard of me, that's quite all right. What you might want to know is that I've created my first seven-figure business starting with just $194 and with no knowledge of English language. And since then, I have sold literally millions and millions and millions of dollars worth coaching programs, consulting services, information programs, seminars, and more importantly, I have coached many of coaches, consultants, and online marketers to replicate my success, launching literally dozens of mid six figures and seven figure coaching businesses in the process. So, why this business blueprint matters is because it's something that took me over a decade to really figure out and perfect. Now, you don't need a big list. You see, I may have a big business today, but I want to show you how to ramp up your business regardless of where you are. So you don't need a big list to get started. You don't need a fancy product. You don't need to host any live events, which is one of the big drawbacks for most people who run coaching group coaching programs. They need to have a big fancy event in order to fill the programs. No longer. You also don't need any promotional partners. So if you just getting started and you don't know how to attract what's known in the industry as JV partners, you really don't need them. And you also don't need to be a recognized guru, meaning if no one has ever heard of you before, that's quite all right. You can still launch your own group program. And in fact, you can feel it pretty successful. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Now, you should be having in your hands this seven-figure coaching business model printout. If you don't have it yet, go ahead and pause this for a moment and go ahead and print this out. All right, ready? Let's go ahead and get started. So there are three core parts that I want to walk you through in this model, and I'll highlight specific points for you to really pay attention to as we walk through it. Now, I'm going to actually walk you through it right now in reverse first, because when I work with clients, it's usually what we do. So the third component, but the most important one, is actually having something to sell. This is about packaging your genius, packaging your brilliance into what I call a unique solution system. In a nutshell, this is really about creating your offer, creating your coaching program, whether it's a program that you sell for a lot of money to a high-end clients working one-on-one, or ideally a program that you can deliver in a group setting. Now, what I want to encourage you to start doing is to start thinking about your coaching program as if it were a product displayed on a shelf in a supermarket. Yes, I know it's kind of weird because it's a service, but the more you start thinking about productizing your service, the easier it's going to be for you to grow your coaching business. The next component is your sales system. Now, once you have something to sell, it's very important to know how to sell it. This is having conversations with people that allow them to make a buying decision and get involved with your offers. And when I walk you through it in the moment, it will all make perfect sense. And especially if you are allergic to marketing and selling, believe me, you will like what you hear in just a moment. And then finally, the third component is having someone to sell it to. All right. I mean, you've got your amazing coaching program. You now know how to enroll people to it. And the only part that's left is, do you have enough people to put it in front of so they can say yes to you and actually fill your programs? So let's look in depth at each of those components. All right. Now, I flipped that entire model vertically so it's easier for me to walk you through it, but it's the same thing you have on the printout in front of you. So let's start with marketing system first, finding people to present your offers to. Now, I have perfected the way of marketing through teaching. If you replace the word marketing, which so many people don't like, with the word teaching, teach people how to solve their own problems. What will magically happen is your resistance to marketing will disappear and you will actually fall in love with marketing your business. I want you to write this down. When you pitch, people run. When you teach, people come. So what we do in our business, we teach webinars, we have live streams, we have video tutorial series. We also do local presentations. I have clients who, for example, host monthly meetup groups where people find them online. Meetup is a free platform to use, and they simply host a 90-minute training program on their topic of expertise. And at the end of this program, they invite people to do for their business with them, which I'm going to show you in a moment how to do that. Now, the reason teaching is so fantastic because it instantly positions you as an authority. Look, I want you to imagine going to any meeting, association meeting, a local networking group, and there's a speaker brought up on stage who teaches something. Now, you don't necessarily question that speaker's credibility and credentials. You just take them for granted that they are an authority on their topic of presentation. Exact same thing will happen to you. So stop pitching and start teaching. Now, you may be thinking, okay, Adam, that's great, but still, how do I get people to actually teach, right? So you need to find some traffic sources. I'm going to just tell you about three things that we do a lot of. The first thing today that works really, really well is Facebook, social media, and Facebook in particular, Facebook advertising. Depending on your audience, you may want to also look at LinkedIn. But I have coaching clients who run nearly seven-figure coaching businesses at this point, marketing exclusively on Twitter. I run a seven-figure coaching business, marketing nearly exclusively on Facebook. In the past, I marketed nearly exclusively through joint venture partnerships, even when no one knew of me. It's very easy to find people who can partner up with you once you know how to do this, but it's a subject for a whole different training. And then finally, the third way to get in front of ideal clients is get yourself booked to speak. Today, I have friends and clients who run either high six-figure or even seven-figure businesses who simply look for speaking opportunities on a regular basis. They speak locally, even to groups of 20, 30, 40, 50 people within no more than a 25, 30-minute drive from where they live. And through that vehicle, they fill their high-end 10, 15, even $20,000 coaching programs. So that's your marketing machine. Now, the next component is your sales system. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I call quest enrollment conversation. I'll walk you through it very, very quickly. But before I get to that, there is a bridging component. See, when you teach people how to solve their own problem, when you leave them with a presentation that gave them a lot of good information and made them hungry to know what more can you teach me? How else can you help me? Because it's a very natural outcome. When you teach someone how to solve some of the problems, they naturally turn around and say, look, this is fantastic. How else can you support me? Now, through the teaching process, they have learned a lot about you, but you don't know anything about them. And your time is limited. So you cannot give your time to anybody that just says, well, hey, can I have a few minutes of your time? No, you cannot. Because why should I? Your time is, again, you've got to treat yourself like a very successful, very busy business owner. You can't just talk to anybody. So you need to put in place an application process. Something very simple. It may be as easy as just asking people three questions. Like, why would you want to have a conversation with me? Tell me what kind of business you are in, and tell me what kind of outcomes you're looking to produce as a result of having this conversation with me. It could be that simple, but based on those three questions, you could determine whether or not it makes sense for you to actually have a conversation with someone, because it may turn out the things they want to accomplish you actually couldn't support them with. So this is a very important bridging component. So let's say that someone heard you speaking at the live event, and they approached you and filled out a quick questionnaire and said, I want to have a conversation. They qualified. Now you have an enrollment conversation. And again, I teach my students this formula called Quest. There's lots of information about having effective coaching sessions that convert prospects into clients. Just to fulfill your curiosity, Quest stands for qualify, meaning you know that you're talking to a right person about the right things. Understand, meaning you want to know what their issues are, what they're seeking to accomplish. You educate them on why they haven't been able to achieve the results they're after. You stimulate their desire for further work with you, and you transition to complete the transaction. So you transition from prospect to a paid client. When you use the right methodology, when you facilitate the conversations the right way, what I want you to do is have another distinction. Replace the word selling with the word consulting. When you do that, the entire conversation becomes client focused. There is no high pressure, there is no browbeating, there is no sleazy used car salesman manipulative techniques. The entire process becomes extremely high value to the person participating in it, and it leaves them very deeply impacted. So people often have dramatic breakthroughs right in the sales conversation. For you as a coach, you're going to realize that sales conversation is one of the best coaching tools you can possibly get involved with. That takes us to the third part of the system, which is your delivery process, right? How are you, now you enrolled new people, how are you delivering? What happens next? So if during the enrollment process, the application is approved, meaning you and the person you have a conversation with say, okay, we're moving forward, what you need to have is you now have a new client, and you need to have in place what I call a unique solution system. Again, this is where you package your genius. I want you to think about it this way. Let's say you do coaching around dating and you help men or women find their soulmate. So they come to you because they are somehow incomplete. They may be unable to find good dates. They may be unable to move beyond the first or second date. They may be unable to move from dating a few times to actually getting deeply involved with the person that you're dating. So you are going to take them through the process of starting where they are to actually being in a fulfilling, committed relationship. And it starts with step one, step two, step three, step four. So you need to identify what those steps are and create a coaching process, coaching methodology that allows people to progress again from step one to step two to step three. That is your unique solution system. Unique because it's yours, it's specifically how you like to coach people, and solution because it takes them from being single to being in a relationship, and system because it works creating predictable results every single time it's applied. So you need to have at least one of those methodologies. For example, look, you could have a unique solution system that's kind of a total relationship creation package. You could have a unique solution system that's maybe about dating online. You could have a unique solution system that's specifically geared towards creating an effective dating profile for online dating websites, and on and on and on. You could have a unique solution system for people who are in a relationship and want to make that relationship better, or prevent a breakup, or reignite intimacy. So again, I'm just giving you one example around coaching around relationships, but you can apply it to any business you can imagine. And how these things are delivered is again through either one-on-one or through group programs. And finally, let's say that the person is not a match. What do you do with them? You don't just discard them. What it means is they were not a match at this time. So you want to have a follow-up process where you continually deliver good stuff. DRIP, again, in terms of curious about the acronym, it's different than anything else out there, relevant to the person receiving it, insightful, like incite a riot, meaning it's gonna spur them to some sort of action, and profitable, meaning that long term, you don't just want to keep training people to receive free information from you. You actually creating this follow-up process as an incubator for future clients. Because look, someone may have a conversation with you right now and they're simply not ready at this point for whatever reason. But in a month, 3 months, 6 months, that situation may completely change. So through the drip follow-up process, you continue to grow trust, you continue to build relationships with that person until the point when they're ready to take the next step and they're a good match for what you have to offer. Now, when you follow this methodology, a lot of the traditional old business building problems simply disappear. It becomes really easy for you to express yourself authentically so people get your passion behind transforming their lives, helps relationships, businesses. You get to build your credibility fast. So that gives you the confidence to really step out there and put your message out to start attracting ideal clients. You get to be of service and make a big impact on a lot of people, which is probably why you started your business in the first place. The people that make up ideal clients start coming to you rather quickly and start asking you, hey, we like what you do. Can you help me? And finally, you get to eliminate a lot of the slimy marketing tactics and the pushy selling methodologies that you probably dislike and have no interest in employing in your business, right? And finally, what this method does, it becomes what I call a freedom multiplier. It simply allows you to impact more people, make more money, and work a lot less. So you have the life to enjoy what you actually do. To give you an idea, if you want to build $1 million coaching business, right? So it only takes 10 new $10,000 clients a month, and you can only work 10 months out of the year. Here's your $1 million. Now, if this is a little too much for you, think, oh my gosh, I could never do this. Let's say you're just getting started and or you might be kind of in the process where you're trying to break through your 6 figures a year. It's equally simple. It takes only 4 new clients a month to build a 6-figure business, $2,500 per client. And notice I'm only putting 10 months out of the year. Why? Because many of my clients are actually only working 3 or 4 days a week, and they like to take a lot of times off. So they only work 11, 10, sometimes even only 9 months out of the year, taking 3 months off per year. So this is the method in a nutshell. And as easy as it is, it's actually creating a lot of problems and struggles for a lot of people to make it work in the businesses. So what's next? Well, here's my invitation. Let me actually show you how to make those 3 systems work for you in your business. You and I, let's get on the phone for a short consultation, probably about 35 to 45 minutes, and let me walk you through, let me find out about your business, and let me show you how to make these 3 concepts quickly work for you in your particular situation. All right, all you need to do is complete the form below and just let me know a little bit about your particular situation, where you are at right now, and what are you trying to achieve next. So I can figure out if I can actually be of service to you, if it makes sense for us to actually talk. Now, who is ideal? Who will truly benefit from this breakthrough conversation are people who are ready to step up to be their next best version of business owner, entrepreneur. So ideally, you probably are a service provider of some sort, coach, consultant, speaker, trainer, maybe a holistic healer of some sorts, or any type of service business, right? And you are realizing that you want to be the next go-to transformational entrepreneur leader in your industry, and you have the courage to step up and actually do what it takes to get there. You just need a little bit of direction along the way, maybe a bit of support how to get there. If that describes you, if you want to be that next go-to transformational leader in your industry, then go ahead and complete this form. This will be an ideal match for you. And here's my promise to you. We don't do arm-twisting, hardcore selling, which is what you might be afraid of. Instead, what you will walk away with specific, tangible, implementable ideas that you can immediately start using in your business to get more visibility, attract more leads, turn more prospects into ideal clients, generate more revenue in your business, and actually cut your working time significantly. If those are the things you want to accomplish, then by all means, complete this form below right now. And I appreciate your attention. Hopefully this has been of service to you. And once again, here's to your success. Hopefully I'll see you on the other side and we'll talk soon. And until next time, cheers.